Voldemort.
And we're back again. So his fingers were all bony, hairless, bloodless, with these pointed nails. And like the round part of his eyes that were black rimmed, the only color on him, the ends of his fingernails almost looked like they had been painted black. Just a thin stripe on the edge, as if someone was trying to like outline it. And
He just looks like a monster.
like an unimaginable monster. And he smelled like rotting carcass.
Yeah.
Like if no, seriously, like if an animal died in this heat that we're having and you put it on a plate
Or infection.
yeah, and then covered the plate with like say a lid, and it was baking out in the sun, and
Jesus.
then the body no, you're laughing, but I'm trying to give them the real description.
Gross.
And the body is like baking and blowing up, kind of like McCain when they were carting them all around that time, which is freaking tragic. Bury the man, you know, it's terrible. And so
I think I have a pretty good idea what that smells like.
Yeah.
you do.
You're so descriptive.
No, but no, I want them to know what I'm talking about, like, so they can really feel what this piece is, because I ain't even told them everything yet. So, and then after like a full day, after like a full 3 days in the sun, you pull the lid off the dead animal and it blows up from the organs. No, seriously, from the organs starting.
Smell it.
Well, what happens is when a body dies, it fills with gas. The last thing to decompose is the heart, because it's such a thick muscle.
Yeah.
The heart is a very thick muscle. It's the last thing that decomposes on a body. I know all about bodies and them decomposing. So anyway, you take the lid off and you hear this sound. It's like this. I'm going to do it again so you guys can hear me. And that's exactly what it sounds like when the gas is released from the body. I wish I could put your face on camera right now.
It's gross.
No, it is. And then what can happen is, if you prod the body, it could literally blow
up. Yeah,
it could
like
blow up.
Like a whale.
Yeah, and the reason it can blow up is because it hasn't been embalmed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's nothing to preserve anything. So, and then the smell, because of the heat and the rotting organs, you never forget the smell of a rotting body, like ever.
I know.
Like you can almost taste it. You really have to have because I know all about rotting bodies. Well, I mean, I have done operations on people. I've done operations on animals too, but like they had such rot inside of them. One blew up on me.
You gotta have a strong stomach.
I don't have a strong stomach though.
Okay.
I can get the job done. I can do the surgery. I can get the job, but I'm also going to probably throw up on them in the process because I can't handle that. I have a very weak stomach. I don't know why. Like, don't like have no dog poop around me because I'll lose it. But anyway, so while she's having sex with who she thought was with her husband and it wasn't,
That's the thing that was on her.
Yeah, that smell made her start to throw up. She's trying to push him off her, but she can't. And she's throwing up and nearly going to choke and die because she's being held down on the bed. So she turned her head to the side to make sure she didn't gag or choke, kind of like you would like somebody having a seizure.
Yeah.
You turn them on their side. So turned them on the side. She turned her head to the side, and she got done throwing up, and then all this white like mayonnaise stuff started coming out of her mouth. Now I'm gonna tell you how he knows this. All this mayonnaise stuff is just coming out of her mouth. It's like it was salty. It was, you know what it was, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. What? What?
Did it say demon semen?
Yeah, demon semen. Yeah. He had filled her whole body with it.
Oh.
And that is how she got pregnant with this child. But listen, here's what happened.
You want to see?
No, you're going to come back on video, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, bro, pull a chair up, big boy.
I'm going to. Can I have my thing?
Your tea? Your ramrod?
The black one.
Your blackness?
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyway, what happened is, if you can imagine that happening to you, a rotting corpse blowing up on you, the stench, roll on up here.
Roll
the
out.
stench, all that stuff, okay? That would be so traumatic. The next morning, wouldn't you wonder if that really happened or not?
Or if it could all just be a nightmare.
Or was it all a nightmare, right?
Yeah.
Well, the next morning, remember I said she turned her head to the side and she was throwing up?
Yeah, she saw.
Well, if that really happened, wouldn't there be throw up on the bed?
There was nothing.
Right? There was nothing there. So she carries this pregnancy to term, okay? She has the baby, and she thinks she suffered a nightmare up until after she delivered the baby. The baby was born. She loved the baby. The baby's normal because it's the guy I'm telling you about.
It's
He's
just
normal.
Yeah.
But she had her labor all natural. Like I said, they were like, the husband and wife are really decent people. So they just tried to do everything naturally. They ate organic, like the whole bit when she found out like she was pregnant. And she didn't want any drugs during her labor. I say more power to you, honey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you can inject me up, you know. Actually, I didn't have any medication when I had my son. None. He has been a spitfire from the time he came out of the front hole.
And what, your second one you had?
Oh, yeah.
Like
The
a
second
joy.
one. Oh, exactly. It's like, oh,
Well,
my
my mother
God.
popped out 4 naturally.
Yeah, oh, yeah. See, that's what I had him naturally. I did. I had him naturally. And then my doctor was so funny because she was a female doctor. She goes, "You want me to put extra stitches in a vag hole?" And I was like, "Absolutely."
Front hole.
I'm sorry. I get myself PC correct. Front hole. So I was like, "Yeah, put a few stitches in the front hole. Why not? Tighten that bad boy up. This kid is 8
Oh
pounds."
my God.
Seriously.
8-pounder.
Yeah, he was 8 pounds, 16 ounces, 21 inches long. He was a whopper.
Who, your son?
Yeah, badass.
I know someone who had one 13 pounds.
Do you know what my son looks like? How do you say
I've
his
heard
name?
you say,
Momoa?
oh, Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa. That's my son. Like, no lie.
Mine is the man pecs.
Oh no, he's got that now too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you know why? Cause he's bench pressing ghetto granny. That's why he's bench pressing ghetto granny. I'm serious. You gotta lift that thing
Bench
over the
presser under the
doorway.
Atlantic Ocean.
I like the bench presser somewhere too, but we'll leave it at that. Anyway, get out of here. Come on. So anyway.
Did that pill kick in?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm straight up. So anyway,
Yo.
So anyway, she had the baby naturally, so she wasn't under any kind of drugs or anything like that. Everybody comes to congratulate their husband, kisses her, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Grannies, mothers, everybody that needs to come and visit the baby visits, and then it's quiet time. She has the baby kept in the room with her, even though it was, most of the time they took them back to the nursery, but it was just at the time where they just started keeping the babies in the room with you so you could bond with the baby and all that stuff.
She was on her own with the baby.
She's on her own with the baby. She's a private room. She's very good insurance. Her husband has a good job. So everybody goes nighty-night, and she's there with the baby. Baby needs to be fed. She's wide awake. She's feeding the baby. She's breastfeeding, the whole bit. And a man walks in the door. But she saw him come in, like, at the little opening of the door, and she saw white on him. Like, you know, he's a doctor.
Yeah.
And he was in a doctor's coat. And he even had a little whatever on him, you know, whatever he had on him. But he looked like,
Stethoscope.
yeah, the whole baby looked like a doctor. So he comes in, and he says, "How you doing?" She's like, I'm doing good. And he goes, do you think you'll be ready to go home tomorrow? She goes, yeah. Yeah. And he goes, well, I'm the doctor on tonight. Total normal as could be. Hold on, we'll be back.